Did the house? Did the house? I'm just gonna take some photos here. Did the house burn very quickly, or
Yes.
did it?
My mother was baking,
Yeah,
and Cedric and Leonard weren't very old,
yeah,
and she went down cellar to get some cream,
yeah.
and she found a shingle on the snow that was burnt. It was Easter Saturday,
Really?
and my father had come to Summerside.
Yeah,
He wasn't home at it. So the second time she went back down cellar, she scolded the boys. She thought they were shoving the shingles the way the stove was. There was a draft on the side,
yeah.
but no, it wasn't.
Oh,
So
really?
she looked and it was on fire on the around the flue.
Yeah.
So
Jeez, that must have been kind of bad. Do you remember that here? Do you remember your your Fidel's mother or Fidel's wife? Do you remember her?
yeah, Mamie,
Yeah,
Maggie, her name was
Maggie.
Maggie, yeah, and Pepe didn't last. Fidel didn't last long after the
No,
fire.
no.
They had to go over to Uncle Alphonse.
Yes.
God. And Mom and Dad had to go over to John Peters.
Yeah.
They had to go as close as they could and account the animals in the back.
Yeah, and so they had to keep care of them.
Yeah.
So uh, do you remember now Gertie? Gertie was your dad's first cousin, right? Gertie, John Peter, and I think it was Stephen.
John Peter was Mama's brother.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen a picture of your mom's mother, Glant, like John Peter's mother,
Yeah.
and your was your grandmother too, right? Madeline's mother lived over where Joe Pinot lived, right?
Yeah. That's John Peter's place.
Yes.
John Peter and Gertie and Joe Pano
Yes.
and Mamie.
They
all lived.
they all lived there, and I'm just seeing if so when they were living there, I seen a picture where she celebrated her birthday, and John Peter's there, and your mom's there,
Yeah.
and she would look quite old as well. You probably remember her as being an old person.
Well, a grandfather. You mean John Peter's mother?
Yeah, your grandmother on that side.
Well, she died
Yeah.
in April. She would have been 100 in June.
Oh, jeez. And her husband was named Andre Gallant, right?
I never knew him.
Yeah, because he would have died a long time ago. Here's a question. I was talking to a lady who's 101, so much around your age, but younger, right?
I'll be 103 next month.
Jesus. That's good. You got good genes. So Aubrey's going to live to a long time then, right?
Aubrey's 82 right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, he looks young, like you.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the houses that there was some Joe Raymond? Do you remember that name, Joe Raymond? They lived across from Joe Pinot's, but where Antoine Gallant lived. And there used to be an old farm there. And, but that, Una Gallant, there was a Una Gallant that used to come and see her grandfather,
Yeah.
Joe Raymond. And they lived in the same house where
It wasn't instead of Joe Remo, Joe Pano?
no, there was a Joe Raymond, but that was probably even just around the time you were born. So I remember Joe Pinot and Lucy. Lucy would be your aunt, right?
Yeah.
Aunt.
Yeah, she was Mom's sister.
Yeah.
And John Peter.
John Peter. And John Peter and Gertie, I remember them quite well.
Yeah, they were a nice couple.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, there was also a lady that, like, Basilis, do you remember her?
Yes. And Uncle Manuel, he was running a little store.
Yes. I heard that sometimes he would drink a little bit and they would see his legs.
Oh yeah, he was cross.
Oh, was he? I heard that he ended up dying. He was at by the train station and they left his body there, and because they couldn't pay for the funeral. I don't know if you heard that story.
No, that's not true.
No, it's not. I guess people make up stories because they weren't watching any television.
I think when they found him dead in the ditch,
Yes.
he had come home from some side in the train,
Yeah.
and he had got off at the station,
Yeah.
and he was drunk.
Oh, okay.
And he fell. I heard that they had found him in
Yeah.
the ditch.
Oh, yeah. Probably. That's probably what happened. That's a long walk. You think about a long. I don't think they had shortcuts through the woods. He would have had to come down St. Nicholas Road, and probably walking home, right? And he probably
Yeah.
maybe
and
he was
it,
tired.
and it just happened at night. There was nobody else getting off at the station.
Yeah. So he couldn't see. So they would have lived right across from you, right? Emmanuel and Basilis?
Oh yeah, on the opposite side.
Yes. Do you remember many of the old people, like a long time ago, that lived in St. Nicholas? That
Yeah.
do you remember Gilbert, like Elmer and George's grandfather, Ernie and Eileen, their grandfather?
Ernie Jill, they used
Yeah.
to call him.
Do you remember Gilbert at all, or?
Gilbert.
Gilbert would have been Ernie Jill's father. He would be Leo's uncle. Do you remember him at all? Right at the end of the Alphonse's Lane, that's where they lived. The old house.
Alphonse lived there, and then there was Gus.
Yes. Gus, yeah.
Gus lived right at the corner. There was Uncle Alphonse's
Yes.
lane, and then the highway.
Yes, Gus and Meg. Gus was the father of
There was Louis and Maxie and Ernie.
Maynard, the barber.
Maynard.
Yeah.
And there was the girl, Irene and Nellie.
Would they have been a little older than you?
Yeah,
Okay. What's that bell? Is it dinner time?
that's for supper time.
Oh, you gotta go. Okay, so I got a little bit of a movie.